latest updates.
A senior advocate of Nigeria, Robert Clark, has been speaking about the facts surrounding the ownership of the Bakassi Peninsula. In an interview with our judicial correspondent, Shola Shoyele, the legal practitioner says Nigeria has never owned the Bakassi, but some legal practitioners who thought they could procure a false judgment led the country down the path of submitting to the jurisdiction of the World Court.
There is consternation within the government of Cameroon following the federal government of Nigeria's call for a review of judgment over some areas in the Bakassi Peninsula. According to several Nigerian news sources, the government of Nigeria is returning to the International Court of Justice, the ICJ, for clarification on some areas in the dispute judgment, which was established back in 2002. This comes after the Cameroon-Nigerian Mixed Commission, CNMC, held its 24th session in August 2022 and agreed that the matter should be tabled before the ICJ for clarifications. As reported by This Day News, a press release was issued by the government of Nigeria after the session, wherein they noted that 3 areas to revisit for demarcation are the maritime border, the boundary in Maba village, and the Atlantica Mountains. The delegation from Nigeria, however, noted that the government is not going to appeal to the International Court of Justice, but to ask for review and proper demarcation of the 3 mentioned areas. The press release, as reported by This Day News, added that the Commission recommended that both parties should finalize the agreement on the joint exploitation of hydrocarbon along the maritime border. Nevertheless, it should be recalled that in October 2002, the International Court of Justice delivered a judgment on the land and maritime border between both countries in the presence of President Paul Biya and the former President of Nigeria, Olusegun Obasanjo. Both presidents promised to respect and abide to the court's judgment. Nigeria asking for reviews and going back to the International Court of Justice is not only putting the Cameroonian government into panic, but into more trouble because Biya's government has been battling with Boko Haram since 2013, the Anglophone crisis since 2016, and the recent global health crisis. So, going back to Bakassi Peninsula case may just be another nightmare to the already troubled government of Cameroon. Stay tuned and listen to what some Nigerian media say with respect to the ownership of Bakassi. Thanks for watching and bye for now.
A senior advocate of Nigeria, Robert Clark, has been speaking about the facts surrounding the ownership of the Bakassi Peninsula. In an interview with our judicial correspondent, Shola Shoyele, the legal practitioner says Nigeria has never owned the Bakassi, but some legal practitioners who thought they could procure a false judgment led the country down the path of submitting to the jurisdiction of the World Court.
In 1979, the civilian government came in, and Akinjide became the Attorney General. They became the Attorney General, so the Bakassi issue started again, and they were negotiating under Shehu Shagari. Okay. But no agreement was reached on it because typical way of doing things in Nigeria, we all believe we owned it. Whereas, as I said, as lawyers, if we have looked at the facts, we will have known we did not own it. So our attitude will have been different because 80% of Bakassi people are Nigerians. We can defend it by force. So, knowing fully well that we do not own it, we should not have subscribed to going to the World Court for adjudication. Because once we go there and we have ratified the treaty, we are bound by the decision. Now, again, Shagari government left away. Abacha, with due respect to him, said nobody can take Bakassi from Nigeria. He was ready to fight to restore. But again, he sought good advice from some people, in quote, who told him that, look, don't fight this thing. The records show Nigeria does not own it. But lo and behold, those who wanted to go to the court, believing that Nigeria has a judge, Ajibola there, believing that in the old way of doing things in Nigeria, we can manufacture judgments, decided to spend colossal sum of money paying foreign lawyers and Nigerian lawyers, and went and disgraced herself in the court. Now, fortunately, you have to give credit to Obasanjo. After the judgment, we discovered there was nothing we could do, and Obasanjo realized it. Good to him. So he now settled with them and said, okay, Nigeria has invested so much in Bakassi, in manpower, in money, in this. Okay, let us draw up an agreement for us to have an economic interest for the next 20 years. And that is what Obasanjo achieved for us.